Hello, welcome to Kush News, the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's take a look at today's news on Thursday, August 15th, 2024. We go to Kenya, where the nominee for the head of police reflects on the protests. Inspector General nominee Douglas Kanja has acknowledged security errors during the breach of Parliament back on June 25th following the anti-finance bill protests. The nominee told a committee on Thursday that events leading to the storming of the country's parliament and the setting ablaze of City Hall in the capital were a result of a strained security service. The nominee made the announcement as he faced questions from a joint committee on national administration and security.
The security of Parliament. Parliament is one of the key bodies established by our Constitution. And if approved and appointed IG, this is an area that we cannot allow anyone to come around joking around with this Parliament. So for me, I will do whatever it takes to ensure that this Parliament is safe and secure as the IG. On matters security gaps, yes, there are gaps, and maybe let me start by saying that I must first of all appreciate the police officers for having operated under difficult circumstances, because our security, the security of the state, was in jeopardy, because the kind of demonstrations that we had, they had actually engulfed almost the entire country, overstretching the resources that are at our disposal. And the reason why, going forward, we still need to invest a lot in terms of ensuring that our officers are well trained. We continue training, continue getting the better equipment to manage some of these things. Training, as I said from the word go, is an area that I would like to run away with, because I do believe that trained officers is actually the direction to go, and we need to have a lot of investment in that direction. And then
lawmakers pressed the nominee's role in containing the situation, having been the deputy inspector general at the time. Mr. Kanja regretted the invasion of Parliament, saying that he would mobilize resources to ensure adequate protection of critical government facilities if applied to lead the National Police Service. The anti-finance bill protests took place from June throughout July of this year. Police and protesters clashed weekly in what many have called the turning point of the country. Those in Kenya, let us know your thoughts on the Inspector General nominee's assessment of the protests. Also, let us know on where you side. Did you side with the protesters, or did you side with the police? Let's go to Equatorial Guinea, where they sign a gas deal with Nigeria. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu and Equatorial President Teodoro Obiang Nguema have signed an agreement on the Gulf of Guinea pipeline project. The agreement covered legislative and regulatory measures for the gas pipeline. Speaking at the event, President Tinubu, who is on a 3-day official visit to Equatorial Guinea, said that the signing of the agreement will open up new opportunities for gas exploration and employment.
Concerning Africa, conflict and conflict resolution that were discussed, we discussed various areas of conflicts, mechanism, and what are we to promote in order. United Nations Assembly, promote peace and stability for our continent, and growth and prosperity for that same continent. In the same way, that Europe and Americans unhate themselves and find a solution for the conflict, the continent, both inadequate capital, industrialization effort, research and development programs that will enlighten our people.
The Nigerian president stated that the two leaders had discussed issues related to the creation of employment, food security, and conflict resolution mechanisms on the continent. The president from Equatorial Guinea said that Africa's vision of having a permanent seat in the Security Council of the United Nations is vital for the development of the continent as well. Those in Equatorial Guinea, let us know your thoughts on the two heads meeting to form a deal on the gas pipeline. Wow, a lot of potential employment. Let's go to Somalia, where the Egyptian embassy has been reopened. Egypt announced the reopening of its newly constructed embassy in the capital Mogadishu on Wednesday, a gesture that signals a deepening commitment to its relationship with Somalia. The reestablishment of the embassy marks a renewed chapter in the long-standing tie between the two nations. According to an official statement from the Egyptian embassy, this development highlights Egypt's dedication to strengthening its fraternal relations with Somalia. The reopening of the Egyptian embassy follows closely on the heels of the airline Egypt Air's launch of direct flights between Cairo and Mogadishu, a move that has already begun to cement ties between the two capitals. The resumption of these direct flights is seen as a crucial step in facilitating greater people-to-people contact and boosting trade. Those in Somalia, let us know your thoughts on the reopening of the Egyptian embassy. Were you there? Did you get a chance to take some photos? If you were allowed to take photos, we want to hear from you. And congratulations to Egypt and Somalia. Let's go to Uganda, where the president welcomes a king. Ugandan President Museveni and the First Lady welcomed the King of Eswatini, Mswati III, at Entebbe International Airport. Mswati III, who is in Uganda for a 3-day official state visit, was accompanied by his wife. Upon arrival, the visiting king was awarded a 21-gun salute. President Museveni later received his guests at the State House and held discussions focusing on the enhancement of bilateral cooperations within the two countries. In their discussions, President Museveni emphasized a clear vision for African prosperity. Those in Uganda, let us know your thoughts on the King of Eswatini visiting. Did you get a chance to see him? Did you watch him on TV? Wow. Let's go to the Caribbean. And there we go to Bermuda, where Hurricane Ernesto is heading. On Thursday, Hurricane Ernesto strengthened into a Category 2 hurricane as it heads towards Bermuda, threatening major damage over the weekend from powerful winds and heavy rain. This comes after leaving hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans without power. Hurricane Ernesto is forecast to strengthen further before it reaches Bermuda late on Friday. Only 11 storms have made direct landfall in Bermuda since the year 1851. Bermuda is a Caribbean island, an archipelago of 181 islands and a population of 64,000. Hurricanes Gonzalo and Fabian were the most destructive storms to hit Bermuda in recent memory, causing millions of dollars in damage and leaving most of the island without electricity. Ernesto became a hurricane back on Wednesday after leaving Puerto Rico as a tropical storm. Images and video from the island showed major flooding and power outages. As of Thursday afternoon, over 400,000 homes and businesses have been remained without electricity. But according to Luma Energy, the Caribbean island's main power supplier, Luma has said that it has restored power to over 300,000 customers. Those in Bermuda, let us know on if you are still able to see this. Please seek safety, shelter, listen to any government official statements. When we come back, we'll have today's African proverb of the day. Don't go anywhere.
release of the Spring Summer collection. Visit www.mccadero.com.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at today's African proverb of the day. It comes to us from no particular African nation and or ethnic group, and it reads, lack of knowledge is darker than night. Once again, lack of knowledge is darker than night. African proverb. You know, what this is referencing is you don't want to be stupid. You want to be stupid. You want to get as much as information as you can. You know, a personal story is before I became handy with my hands, I attempted to mount a TV without mounting it to the wall studs. So here in the West, specifically the United States, you know, homes are built where there's drywall. You hear that, right? It's pretty empty. And so what's in between every 16 inches inside this wall is wood studs. So when you're hanging a photo, or a TV, especially a heavier set TV, you want to push your nails into those, so that way the only way that your item falls is if the house collapses. Then you have a bigger situation at your hands. I digress. I only put the nails into the drywall. This was a 55-inch TV, pretty heavy. Yeah, let's just say it wasn't a good scene. It was probably the next day that it started to fall. So if I was knowledgeable back then, I would have put it into the wall studs. Imagine I didn't even know what wall studs were. Let me know your interpretation of today's African proverb of the day, as well as your thoughts, views, questions, comments, and concerns on the top stories. Don't forget to hit that like button. Make it your best friend. For Kush News on Kush Combos TV, I'm Ochanda. We'll see you soon.